Ayurveda is an ancient Vedic system of healing. According to this system, every individual is indivisible, undivided, complete, total, a unique expression of pure awareness, pure consciousness. According to Ayurveda, self knowledge, self knowing is the foundation of life. To know oneself means what is one's constitution, what is one's prakriti. And to know that, we should look into the Ayurvedic perspective. According to Ayurveda, in our body, every cell is the center of awareness. And in every cell, there is cosmic intelligence, Mahat. And there is a beautiful flow of communication going on between the two cells. That flow of communication is called prana. According to Ayurveda, man is a miniature of nature. In the nature, there is pure cosmic awareness. In the body, there is individual awareness. In the nature, there is cosmic consciousness. In the individual, there is individual consciousness. In the nature, there is sun, gives heat and light. In the body, there is a Agni, which gives heat and temperature and digestion. In the nature, there is a moon, which governs moon cycle. In the body, there is hormonal changes, the moon cycle of the woman, the menstruation, and moon is the mind. Then there is space, outer space. In the body, there are bigger and smaller spaces. There is air, we are breathing air. There is a fire, we have fire, digestive fire, gastric fire. There is a water outside. In the body, there is water, plasma, serum, cytoplasm. And there is a earth element, calcium, magnesium, zinc, and there is body, ether, air, fire, water, earth, and calcium, magnesium, zinc. So, sarvani dravyani pancha bhautikani, all organic and inorganic matter is made up of these five elements. So, structural aspect of the human body are these five elements: ether, air, fire, water, earth. Ether and air together create Vata dosha, the principle of movement. Pitta, fire and water, is Pitta. Pitta governs temperature, color, complexion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and transformation of food into energy. That is Pitta. And Kapha is earth and water, the building block material. So you will see that we have structural aspect governed by five elements: ether, air, fire, water, earth, and functional aspect is governed by three dosha: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. These Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these three doshas, they are present in every single cell as the functional unit. So there are these three organizations, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they govern our unique psychophysiology.
These three doshas, Kapha dosha, Pitta dosha, and Vata dosha, are from three Sanskrit words: ka, pa, kapha. Ka means water. So kapha dosha is the water dosha. Pitta dosha is from tap. Tap is the root of tapasya, and tapasya means austerity. You'll notice that whenever you do anything very intensely, it generates heat. So tapasya, the austerity of doing something in a very focused way, generates heat by friction, and that heat is called pitta. And then vata is va, and va is where the root word of vehicle comes from. It means to move, or that which you get in and move, or that by which you move. So vata is the basis of vehicle, which they call in Sanskrit vahana. But it actually means that which is moving. So I'd like you to think that in nature there are actually three things, three departments. There's the moving department, the moving and communicating department. There's the cooking and transforming department, pitta. And then there's the sticky department, the gooey sticky department, which is kapha. Those three departments are the three doshas. In our body, then, we have a nervous system, and things are moving and must move. So all of that movement and all of that communication is conducted by vata dosha. And we have a fire burning inside of us, and that fire is transforming everything that we put in. That is the fire burning in our mind as we digest ideas. It burns in our stomach as we digest food. It heats and burns all of the things that come into our system, separating the things that are useful and not useful, and sends away the waste products and keeps the things that are useful, transforms them again into the necessary ingredients and integrates them into the body. And then kapha is the liquid and solid substance itself, the actual tangible body. And so the pitta is the fire in your belly and the fire in your mind. And the vata is the receptivity and the sensibility and the movement and represents the subtlety of air. Pitta represents the subtlety and burning quality and the intensity of fire. In 1930, a psychologist named William Sheldon, by studying the Greek theory of the four humors, which were based on Ayurveda, came up with the idea that there were three kinds of people. Ectomorphs, morph means body, mesomorphs, and endomorphs. His theory was that one kind of body was connected to the ectoderm, the skin. One was connected to the mesoderm, the muscles, and one was connected to the endoderm, the gut, and the lymph. And he developed this theory of psychology, and it became quite popular for a while, and then was superseded by other things because Ayurveda wasn't ready to come out into the world. So nobody knew what to do with this. The way bodies form is they form with a predominance of one of these three doshas. And that predominance then creates a particular kind of body functioning, which is always going on. And that body functioning, that's just as these three functions are always going on in our bodies. So one of them predominates and we become the embodiment of that in nature. Look at all the different animals. So here's a simple way to think of this. The vata animals are fast moving. They have a very highly refined nervous system. If you shoot a gun, they jump or fly or run away or move fast. They feel what's going on very easily and quickly. Why? Because the essence of their nature is to respond quickly and sensitively to what's going on around them. Why? Because they're more like air. They're more responsive. If you have a preponderance of vata, then you're just always responding and feeling and sensing all the things that are going on. To be a vata is a little bit like be an antenna and to be receiving information all the time from everything and lots of information. Their body, like the gazelle. So if you shoot a gun off, the gazelle jumps. That's its natural response. And then the pitta is more like the tiger's response. You shoot the gun, the tiger turns around and says, "Are you food?" Pitta thinks, "I'm going to eat you. I'm going to transform the situation." Look at how a fire eats things. It's not very polite. That's pitta. When you see pitta, pitta doesn't ask permission. Pitta's right. So it's acid. It's burning. It's intense. And those who are pitta go through their life eating and burning and intense. So if your hunger is intense and you must eat breakfast or you start eating yourself, then that's the characteristic that the fire is burning very strongly in you. That's your friend, Agni, ignition, fire down there burning. Whereas if you eat breakfast or food irregularly, if you kind of graze and browse and nibble here and nibble there and change your mind and go eat over here and then go eat over this way, and don't do it regularly at all, that's Vata. Vata's problem is they're dissipating energy, so they have trouble holding on to energy. Refined Vata is the elegance. It's that graceful person who walks in the room and all eyes turn and just watch. Or it's the dancer who can just move in a way that you just can't imagine that such precision is possible. And it's the refinement in anything that makes it just so perfect. It's the perfection of it. But you can see that if you were sharpening a knife and then you sharpened it just a little too far, it would get ragged. It would get brittle. So Vata's danger is it gets so refined that it then becomes hypersensitive. So Pitta has to be careful because they think they can do anything. And they do for a while, but then when they get to a certain age, they just simply blow one of the pipes and they're done. And Pitta, when it's not being too intense, is clarity. So when your Pitta is working perfectly, you take what you need out of the food and you leave behind the rest. The kapha, which would be the elephant, and you shoot the gun and the elephant grabs some dirt and goes, whatever. Because the elephant's feeling pretty confident. I mean, it's the biggest animal out there, so it has this sense that my kapha is fine. How are you? I'm okay. So kapha feels okay. Kapha's fine. So kapha holds things together. Kapha gives hugs. Kapha is the embrace that makes you feel calm. And the kaphas are calm. And they can do a lot because they've got this extra resource of energy. Kapha is the thing which encompasses, encloses. It's the gut. It's the lymph. So if Pitta is the digestion, and Vata is the nervous system and the communication and the movement of things, then Kapha is all the nurturance. It's all the love. It's what holds things together. It's their stability. And it's a combination of their feeling, which is the water element, and their channel, which is the earth element. So if the kapha is more made of earth, they're a little bit more matter of fact, but they're still nurturing. You know, that kind of tugboat Annie, the real, looks tough on the outside, but sweet and soft on the inside. Kaphas have more endurance because the kapha in them gives them more endurance. Now, you'll probably have one that's dominant, and one that's secondary, and one that's less. So they'll be Vata, Vata Pitta, Vata Kapha, Pitta, Pitta Kapha, Pitta Vata, Kapha, Kapha Vata, Kapha Pitta, and then tridoshic, or all three, combined together. The combination of all three together is very rare. Once you recognize your primary body type, that primary body type is a lifelong reality that will be with you for your whole life. The entire basis of preventive medicine is these body types. When you know your body type, you know what to do under different circumstances, and as soon as you start to feel an imbalance, then you know what to do to change the imbalance. But if not, then you're going to relate to food emotionally, and you're going to relate to people by ego, and you're not going to see their vehicle. You're still going to see that as intentional behavior from them. But it's not intentional behavior, any more than the tiger is intentionally growling when you come near them, or the deer intentionally runs away, or the kapha, which would be the elephant, and you shoot the gun and the elephant grabs some dirt and goes, whatever. Because the elephant's feeling pretty confident. I mean, it's the biggest animal out there, so it has this sense that my kapha is fine. How are you? I'm okay. But once you understand what kind of animal you are, self-knowledge is so profound. It's the most powerful thing that you could have. Because with this knowledge, you'll actually know how to live on the planet in a sacred way, and you'll see everyone else in a sacred way. Each one of our vehicles comes with an owner's manual. Mm-hmm. And on the owner's manual, the first thing it says is, this is your dosha. You are a Pitta Kapha. You are a Vata Pitta. You are a Vata Kapha. This is your owner's manual. Read carefully the foods that will balance you, the foods that will unbalance you, the foods that will heal you, the foods that will hurt you, the climate that will heal you, the climate that will hurt you. With the 5 elements and the 3 doshas and the knowledge that comes from that, we actually begin to cooperate as a real part of nature in everything that we do, with everyone that we relate with. And that natural viewpoint reduces our unnecessary ego to a minimum. We begin to see everything around us as natural, and we begin to know how to have what I like to call a user-friendly, point-and-click user interface to the material world. Thank you very much.